right, welcome to Good News Friday. Mike Simon is here. I'm Joey Yarber. Welcome in, everybody, and happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for giving us some time to talk as we seek out solutions, ways of helping in communities. And there is a lot of people right now that are challenged with Hurricane Ian that came through. And, you know, as the post-recovery occurs, there's so many pieces of the puzzle that's moving all at the same time. And it's very difficult to get a picture, if you will, as to where you are, current status, where are we going? How can we rally everyone that's looking to volunteer and to help? You know, Mike, I was seeing about all these people that are headed down there to work on the power lines, you know, and there's just thousands of people that have the time, the effort, the energy to put in to the remedy, if you will, as to the post-recovery of our friends down in Florida. But how does that work? And how do you streamline that effort? And, you know, one of the things about CharityTracker is that it really does shine when it comes to disasters, being able to put everyone on the same page at the same time and streamlining your efforts. Because let's face it, there's a lot of different people out there that want to help, but they don't know where, they don't know how. Being able to communicate, create awareness about where they need to go, where the need really is, that's where CharityTracker comes along. Mike, I mean, we were born from a disaster. That's how it was created in the first place, right?
Yeah, that's how it all got created, was from Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
And it's not the first responders, because the first responders, you know, they've got radios.
Yep.
Which they communicate with each other. But it's after the first responders leave.
Yeah.
That's when the rubber hits the road. It's the long-term recovery. And that's where the first responders, they're gone.
Yeah.
Who are the agencies? And I was looking at some of the news with Ian, and they were asking people, "What are you going to do?" And they go, "I don't know." "Where are you going to go?" "I don't know." "Well, what's your plans for the future?" "I don't know."
Yeah.
And that was a legitimate question. But if they knew that they could get on the phone and find a helping agency, and that helping agency could say, "Well, I may not have exactly what you need, but I can point you in the direction of those who do," then we're being successful in long-term recovery. And that's where CharityTracker shines.
It really does, Mike. And, you know, we've learned a lot through the years from a development perspective as to some of the features that we can incorporate and streamlining the efforts. But, man, when it comes to the bulletins feature and the active participating users in CharityTracker, just being able to see where the need is, being able to rally everyone from a location perspective, geographically, those aspects within a community are possible with CharityTracker. All the nonprofits, all the agencies that's looking for this post-recovery, which could take a long time. Let's face it, it's not an overnight solution. But working together and setting up strategic planning, being able to focus in on the next steps as to how that we recover. How important is it to have everyone on the same page, moving in the same direction? And really, that's where CharityTracker has been so effective. I think a great testimonial that I remember from James Whitford in Joplin, Missouri, after the tornado went through back a few years ago. He talks about how that the Ministerial Alliance that had a few churches there in it at the time, started growing exponentially after the tornado, bringing in other nonprofits. But this effectively put everyone working in the same effort, same focus, same direction. That's one of the great testimonials of the, if you will, after effects of a storm, such as a tornado, in this case, a hurricane, that CharityTracker can really shine. Let's put everyone on the same page and move and streamline our efforts, because we're all in this together.
That's right. And you don't want to wait until the disaster happens. You want to use it for disaster preparedness. Tell them the story of what happened in Conway.
Yeah, so Conway was a situation where we had a lot of great conversations with the United Way there that was looking to spearhead something like this. And we were in that moment, you know, in that kind of conversation, you know, where they were evaluating what potentially could happen with CharityTracker. And then the tornado came through Conway, and it was a bad storm. It devastated that entire community. And the call that I got from the United Way, from CharityTracker, from the United Way there, was, we've got to get CharityTracker in here right now This isn't an evaluation process anymore. We need to be able to work together right here, right now. Mike, we want to do that. It won't take long. And that's the great story there in Conway. It didn't take long to get those agencies all in the same network, working together, sharing information, being able to streamline their efforts. That was one of the great testimonials that we have of the effectiveness of Charity Tracker, even if they didn't have it whenever the tornado came through. They were very, able to get together then afterward using Charity Tracker in a short period of time. I mean, we're talking days after the storm went through to put everyone on the same page at the same time. It does not take a long time. But allow us, if you will, for those of you down in Florida, and it looks like it's coming up through the East Coast now and devastating a lot of areas there as well. We're here with you. We want to work with you. So if there would be the opportunity for us to talk about how that our solution can work, please know this. We'll talk about the money later. Right. The most important thing is getting you into the system and start working together and streamlining your efforts. That really is where our hearts are here. We know because we've been through it and we worked through it. And this is where Charity Tracker came into fruition. Mike, the expression necessity being the mother of invention, truly it was here. We want to work with you, those of you that are struggling right now. As we're getting into the winter months, we're talking about homelessness and being able to focus in on that aspect. It is a bad time to have a storm like Ian coming through. We have an HMIS capability within our system, HUD reports, being able to generate all that data and such. So there's a lot of things that we have done in our development through the years to equip every nonprofit with what they need to be able to focus in on working together, reporting the data, recording it all there, and you can have that ability to really put everyone on the same page at the same time. Man, it's so important at a time like that. Speaking of homelessness, right now as we're getting into the winter months, again, we do have an HMIS solution here in Charity Tracker, just something to keep in mind. And from that component and how to work with a community that perhaps doesn't have the requirements from a HUD reporting perspective, you can still work from the Charity Tracker perspective. You may just be on the basic level, but you can still work in collaboration with an agency that is HUD focused with those reports, the HMIS agencies that, many times it's like, well, we have a specific criteria or data protocol that we have to report. Hey, let's get everybody together and collaborate and work together, not compromising any of that valuable HUD data, but we can do that. In the winter months, Mike, a lot of people are out on the streets and such. They're going to be coming in, being able to track bed management, those aspects of this. We can all do that here at Charity Tracker with you. Please give us a call. We'd love to talk with you about that. Hey, we do wish you all well, and our hearts, our prayers are with you folks there in Florida and anyone that's been devastated by storms. And we appreciate so much you allowing us time to talk about the good news about how we can equip you with a solution to work, streamlining that post-recovery process. For Mike, Simon, and all of us here at Simon Solutions, thank you so much for allowing us to be part of your day. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.